Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my third video lecture on amines. In my second video lesson, I had explained you preparation methods of amines. Let me quickly recall those points. In the methods of preparation, firstly we have taken nitro compounds. Nitro compounds will have NO2 that will be reduced to NH2. NO2 will be reduced into NH2 by using reducing agents. In second method I have told you ammonolysis. I have told you when you treat alkyl halides with ammonia, they will yield different amines. This is called as ammonolysis. In the third method, where we have taken cyanides that have functional group CN and that will be reduced into CH2NH2, that is an amine. Actually, this method is known as Mendius method. And I told you lithium aluminum hydride in dry ether can be used as one of the reducing agents, or it can be used nickel and hydrogen as a reducing agents. And third method I had explained you is conversion of amides into amines. Amides will have CONH2 functional group that will be changed into CH2NH2, that is an amine. And next method is Gabriel phthalimide synthesis, where I had told you we take phthalimide that will be treated with alcoholic KOH to give rise to potassium phthalimide, that will be again treated with alkyl halide to give alkyl substituted phthalimide. Finally, that alkyl substituted phthalimide will be hydrolyzed in the presence of aqueous NaOH solution to yield a primary amine along with sodium phthalate. I told you that here we can prepare only alkyl amines and aryl amines we cannot prepare. And lastly, I had explained you Hofmann bromide degradation method, where you take an amide and that is treated with bromine and KOH solution to give rise to amine. Now let us go to the next part of the lesson, that is physical properties of the amines. Here we deal with the solubility, state, boiling points of amines. Let me explain one by one. The first one is state and odor. If you take amines, lower aliphatic amines will be in the gaseous state. So the lower members will be, aliphatic amines will be in the gaseous state, and they will have a fishy odor, smell of fish. And if you take primary amines, lower primary amines with the 3 or 4 carbons, that will be in the liquid state. The aliphatic amines with the 3 or 4 carbons will be in the liquid state. And if you take still higher amines, that is having more than 4 carbons, that will be in the solid state. So these are in gaseous state. Lower members are in gaseous state with 3 or 4 carbons will be in the liquid state, and the amines with more number of carbons, that is more than 4 carbons, will be in the solid state. And if you take aromatic amines, for example, if you take aniline here, that is nothing but benzene amine. This is a colorless liquid. This is a colorless liquid. Even the other aromatic amines are colorless liquid, but only thing is they are colorless, but only thing is they get brown color due to oxidation by the atmospheric oxygen. When they are exposed to air, they will turn into brown color. Due to oxidation, they will change into brown color. Actually, they are colorless. This is the first point relating to the physical properties. So these are present in all the 3 states, like gaseous, liquid and solid state. Lower members are gaseous, they are in gaseous state and with the fishy odor, and the members with the 3 to 4 carbons will be in the liquid state, and more carbons, that is more than 4 carbons, will be in the solid state. And if you take aromatic amines, that will be colorless substance, but that will be in the liquid state, and that will develop a brown color due to the oxidation. Let us go for the solubility. We know that all the organic compounds will be freely soluble in organic solvents except a few. Organic compounds will be soluble in organic solvents, but some of the organic compounds like amines, alcohols, and lower members of carboxylic acids will be soluble in water. Why they are soluble? Look here, for solubility there is a principle, that is like like dissolves like. For example, if solute and solvent have similarity in their properties or characteristics, they will be miscible and soluble each other. So organic, though amines are organic compounds, they are soluble in water. For example, you can take alcohols that have OH as the functional group. You could see that they are soluble in water. Why? That alcohols can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. Both are polar. The OH group in alcohol is polar. Water molecule have OH bond, that is also polar. So that they will form in an association in the form of intermolecular hydrogen bond. Here also you can see the amines can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. Please remember one thing, if any compound that has the ability to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water, that will be soluble in water. So anywhere if you get any compound with the polarity in the sense that has the ability to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water, that will be soluble in water. It has the ability to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water, that will be soluble in water. Here if you take amines, for example I am taking an amine here, you can take an amine here, I am taking a primary amine RNH2, I am taking a water molecule, the formula of water molecule is H2O. You know that in water oxygen is more electronegative, so that it will acquire a slight positive charge and hydrogen will get a slight positive charge. In the same way, in between nitrogen and nitrogen being more electronegative, that will develop a slight positive charge on it. On the other hand, hydrogen will get a slight positive charge. Now you can see these can attract each other because it's a slightly negative charge and it's a slight positive charge. Being oppositely charged, these can attract each other. This is an amine, this is water molecule. So that what is existing between these two, an intermolecular hydrogen bonding is existing. Here also water molecule can be attached here. The oxygen of water molecule can be attached to this hydrogen plus. And here also one hydrogen bond. Anyway, amines are producing intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water molecule so that they are soluble in water. So lower aliphatic amines are soluble in water. Why? Because of their ability to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. But don't think that all the amines are soluble in water. For example, if you take amines with more molecular weight, they will be insoluble in water. More molecular weight means the hydrocarbon length should be more. Here R is the alkyl group. If you take lengthy hydrocarbons, higher alkyl groups, what will happen? Actually this group will be repelled by water. Alkyl groups will be repelled by water. It is called as hydrophobic. Alkyl groups are hydrophobic, that will not be attracted by water. So that when you take higher amines, what will happen? They will have a lengthy hydrocarbon part which will be repelled by water, so that here the solubility decreases and they will become insoluble in water. So higher amines are insoluble in water due to the domination or hydrophobic nature of the lengthy lengthy alkyl group will be repelled by water, and so that solubility gets decreased here. So what you can conclude is lower aliphatic amines are soluble in water. Higher members, that is with more molar mass, that is nothing but with more length of alkyl groups, will be insoluble in water. If you take aniline, that is soluble in organic solvents like benzene, ether, but that will not be soluble in water. Very slightly soluble, you can say insoluble in water. Aromatic amines are insoluble in water. But here you can make a comparison. Here amines are soluble in water. I told you alcohols will also be soluble in water. But the solubility of alcohols will be more than amines. Amines will form hydrogen bonding with water. Even alcohols will form hydrogen bonding water, but the solubility of corresponding amine is lesser than the corresponding alcohol. Why? If you take alcohol, there is OH group. If you take alcohol, there is OH group in it. OH group in it, where oxygen gets a slight negative charge and hydrogen will be slight positive charge. This is for alcohols. And if you take an amines, here we have NH bond. In primary and secondary amines we have NH bond, where also we have polarity. But only thing is here, oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. Oxygen's electronegativity is 3 units, but 3.5 units, but the nitrogen's electronegativity is only 3 units. It is more electronegative. Anyway, oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. More the electronegative, more is the bond polarity, so that it is more polar. It is relatively less polar. Though both alcohols and amines can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water molecule, the alcohols are soluble freely, are more soluble in water comparatively with amines because of the more electronegativity of oxygen, and it causes more polarity. For example, if you take one butanol and one butanamine, clearly one butanol is soluble in water, one butanamine is soluble in organic solvents. Why is there the hydrocarbon part dominates in butanamine? But alcohols, electronegativity is more and more polarity is there here in alcohol, so that still they are soluble in, relatively more soluble in water. Okay, let us go for the boiling points. So we have understood amines exist in all the 3 states, that is liquid, gaseous state and solid state. And lower aliphatic amines are soluble in water, and solubility decreases with the increase in the molecular weight. And I told you aromatic amines are insoluble in water and they have the solubility in organic solvents. Now let us go for the third point. Concept is very important. So concept is very important, either it is a public examination, descriptive examination or objective. Always the concept is important. We'll be getting questions from the concept, based on the concept. For example, let us take boiling points here. If you take boiling points of primary amine is more than a boiling point of a secondary amine is more than boiling point of a tertiary amine. You are all familiar with the primary, secondary and tertiary amine. This is first degree amine, primary amine. It's a secondary amine. Here NH2 is the functional group, and here NH is the functional group, and here N is the functional group. I've been repeating the same. So here, if you see the boiling point of primary amine is more than the secondary amine, it is greater than the tertiary amine. Why it is so? Actually, if you see a primary amine here, this is RNH2. These primary amines form intermolecular hydrogen bond among themselves. For example, RNH2, I have taken a primary amine. So this primary amine can form an intermolecular hydrogen bonding with another primary amine. Look here, this is a primary amine, this is a primary amine. Here you know that nitrogen with a slight negative charge, and the hydrogens will have a slight positive charge here, and here also the hydrogen is having a slight positive charge. Now there develops an intermolecular hydrogen bond. So if you take a primary amine, here there is a intermolecular hydrogen bond. Now this hydrogen can also form intermolecular bonding with another primary amine. For example, here I am taking another primary amine. So you can take another primary amine here. I am using another primary amine to show that it can form hydrogen bond. Here it can form hydrogen bonding with another primary amine. Here it can form hydrogen bonding with another primary amine. So this is the nitrogen, and these are the hydrogens present on it, and obviously we know that this nitrogen will be having a slight negative charge and hydrogens will with a slight positive charge. See here, this hydrogen and this nitrogen will develop an interaction in the form of hydrogen bonding. So here we have again a hydrogen bonding. That means here this nitrogen is hydrogen bonded to other amine. Here this hydrogen is bonded through intermolecular hydrogen bonding with the other one. Here also you can write the same. Here also you can take the same and write. For example, here I can write one more amine here. This is nitrogen here, and here hydrogen, and here hydrogen, and we have R here. Look here, I am writing one more amine here. So here, what is the charge that is possible on nitrogen? Again, very simple. Here the hydrogen gets a positive charge, here the hydrogen gets a positive charge, and nitrogen will have a slight negative charge. Anyway, here what is possible? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding is possible. A primary amine has the ability to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with other primary amine, but the extents here it is forming with the 3 other molecules. For example, this is a primary amine. Now let me go for the secondary amine. What is the functional group in a secondary amine? NH. I am taking a secondary amine, R2NH. So this is a secondary amine. Clearly you can see that hydrogen with a slight positive charge and nitrogen with a slight negative charge again. I am writing one more secondary amine. We have studied that there exists an intermolecular bonding among the molecules of primary amines. If you take secondary amines, there also intermolecular hydrogen bonding exists. Clearly, here is also we have a slight positive charge on nitrogen, slight negative charge on nitrogen, and there is an interaction between these two molecules. This is a secondary amine, this is also a secondary amine. So here this nitrogen can be bonded to other secondary amine through hydrogen bond. In the same way, here also I am going to write one more molecule. That is, here I am writing a secondary amine again, that is having R2NH. I mean NH as the functional group here. Here what is the charge here on nitrogen? We have a negative charge. See here, here also one hydrogen bond. Here 3 hydrogen bonds are possible here for this molecule. Particular molecule, if you see here, it is bonded on one side with one molecule here, other side and the other side. 3 sides and in 3 ways it is forming hydrogen bonding. Here we have in primary amine, we have NH2 group. Primary amine means what? We have NH2. That means nitrogen have 2 hydrogens. Here it is a secondary amine. What I am saying is a secondary amine. What we have? Only NH. Only one hydrogen is there on the nitrogen. So that if you see here, only on two ways we have hydrogen bonding. But if you go for the tertiary amine, there are no hydrogens present on it. So in primary amine, more number of hydrogen bonding, extensive hydrogen bonding exists in primary amine. Secondary amine, little bit lesser than the primary amine. If you go for the tertiary amine, there no hydrogen bonding is possible. Because if you take tertiary amine, what is the formula of a tertiary amine? R3N. R3N is the general formula of a tertiary amine. So in this R3N, you can clearly see that there is no hydrogen is presenting on it. R3N. So that here we don't have any hydrogen that is bonded to nitrogen. So that there is no hydrogen on it to form hydrogen bond with the other tertiary amine. So the tertiary amines have no ability to form hydrogen bonding. No hydrogen bonding. So primary amine has more ability to form more number of hydrogen bonding. Secondary lesser, and tertiary will not have any ability to form hydrogen bond. Now what is the connection between the hydrogen bonding and boiling point? More the extent of hydrogen bonding, boiling point is directly proportional to the extent of hydrogen bonding. More the hydrogen bonding, more will be the boiling points. So what we can conclude, in primary amines we have more hydrogen bonds, so that the boiling points of a primary amine is greater than the boiling point of a secondary amine, that is greater than the boiling point of a tertiary amine. This is the comparison among the amines. But even you can make a comparison of boiling points with that of amines with other members like alcohols and hydrocarbons. I mean alkanes here. If you take alkanes of almost same molar mass and alcohols of same molar mass, you can clearly say that alcohols will have higher boiling point than amines. Amines will have a higher boiling point than that hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbons will have the least boiling point because least polarity, and alcohols will have the highest polarity and highest stability, means stronger hydrogen bond, and amines will have moderate boiling points. You can make a chart to understand that one. So what I said, boiling points among amines will be in this order. Primary amine will be greater than of secondary amine, that will be greater than of a tertiary amine. I told you what is the connection between boiling points and hydrogen bonding. Now, if you take a tertiary amine has no hydrogens and it will not form any hydrogen bonding, so that it will have this boiling point. Now if you take alcohols, I told you among alcohols and amines and corresponding alkanes here, let us take that hydrocarbon as alkane. The alcohols will take the highest boiling point and amines comes then later, and finally the least value exists for alkanes. But here we have to take these members with almost comparable molar mass. Let us make a comparison in the boiling point. So I will write different amines and compare them with alcohols and alkanes. For example, firstly I will take one amine C4H9NH2. It is butanamine. It is nothing but butanamine, whose molar mass is almost 73 grams per mole. This will be the molar mass. If you observe its boiling temperature, that will be around some 350 Kelvin, around 350 Kelvin. Now I will go for the second one. I am taking one more amine here. For example, I will take C2H5 taken twice NH. So here I have taken a primary amine that has NH2 functional group, whose molar mass is 73 grams and boiling point is found to be 350 Kelvin. Now I am taking a secondary amine. So of the same molecular formula, these are isomers, functional isomers. Primary amine is a functional isomer to the secondary isomer. Their molecular form is same. Here the molar mass is almost same. Not almost, both are same. Both are having same molecular formula, so that their molar mass is same. And if you see the boiling point, it is around some 329 Kelvin, 329.3, but you can say it as a 329 Kelvin. Now I will go for a tertiary amine. This is a primary amine, this is a secondary amine. Now I will go for a tertiary amine. C2H5NCH3 taken twice. If you see, they all have the same molecular formula but different the functional group. This is a tertiary amine. Here also you can see 4 carbons, here also 4 carbons, here also 4 carbons. Even the nitrogens and hydrogens are same. So this is a tertiary amine, whose molar mass is also same. It is 73 grams per mole. But if you observe its boiling point, it is around some 310.5 Kelvin. Say it as 310 Kelvin. So if you take isomeric amines, I told you clearly, primary amines will have more boiling point than the secondary amines, than the tertiary amines. Why? Primary amines form intermolecular hydrogen bonding extensively. When the bonds are more and bond strength is more, boiling point will be increased. Because to boil, they have to break their bonds existing, so that here more hydrogen bonding, here less, here no hydrogen bonding. So among isomeric amines, so primary amines will have more than the secondary amine, than the primary. Now if you take it with a hydrocarbon, that is an alkane, For example, I will take isobutane for the reference here. So I can take I have to take a molecule with almost same molar mass. So here you can see that it is nothing but 2-methyl butane or isopentane, not isobutane, isopentane. So here if you see its molar mass is almost same, that is nothing but 72 grams per mole. If you take this molar mass, so what is it? 72 grams per mole. If you observe its boiling point, it is 300 Kelvin. So it's a hydrocarbon. So here we can compare the molar mass, almost same molar mass they have, but this hydrocarbon has, alkane has the least boiling point. Now let me write one alcohol of the corresponding molar mass. I will write the example of an alcohol here. Fifth one, what I am making is here, I am taking an alcohol. For example, we take N-butanol. It is N-butanol, C4H9OH. Almost comparable mass, but it is 74 grams per mole. Here you can see its boiling point is risen to some 390 Kelvin, around 390 Kelvin. So this is an alcohol. So you can see clearly the least boiling point exists for an alkane, and highest boiling point, maximum boiling point exists for an alcohol, and moderate boiling points exist for amines. So if you take isomeric amines, primary will have more boiling point than the secondary, then the tertiary. Primary is greater than secondary, is greater than tertiary. But when you compare those amines with hydrocarbons of same molar mass and alcohols will have the highest boiling point due to the higher polarity, and hydrocarbon will have the least boiling point. So this is all about the boiling points. So today we have learnt the physical characteristics like a state and color of amines, and second thing, solubility of amines. I told you only lower members are soluble in water, higher members are not soluble, and aromatic amines are also insoluble in water. And thirdly, I have told you the boiling points have a trend here, and I explained just now. Let us go for the chemical properties of amines. So if you take amines that have a RNH2 group, in case of primary amine it is RNH2 is the general formula. So the reactivity of this molecule depends on two factors. First thing is the polarity of the molecule. Clearly I have already mentioned that there is a polarity for that NH bond. So the polarity of the bond, the reactivity, chemical reactivity of any amine depends upon the polarity of the bond here, NH bond. Second thing, nature of the alkyl groups bonded to it. For example, if you take a secondary amine, that will be R2NH or R dash, and tertiary amine if you take R3N. So here, what are the two influential factors? The alkyl group present on the amines, and second thing, the polarity. Already all are having the polarity, but the polarity will be influenced again by the alkyl group. And one most important thing is in any amine, nitrogen is the central atom that will have a unshared pair of electrons. So here you can see on all the amines we have nitrogen with a lone pair of electrons, unshared pair of electrons. Actually this will cause a basic character to amines, basic character or basic nature. What is meant by basic nature? According to Lewis acid-base theory, any substance that is capable of donating at least one pair of electrons is called as a basic substance. As the central atom nitrogen is bearing a lone pair of electron here, it can donate a pair of electrons, so that it is having its basic character. Now let us talk about the other points relating to the chemical properties. We'll discuss in the next video lecture. So, thank you.